Hello everyone, welcome back to Jack Plays. Now I'm going to be doing episode 3 of the Gran Turismo Legends series. Now I know you like the first episode with the RX-7, you actually like the second episode with the Suzuki Escudo even more, getting nearly 100 views, which thanks for that, means a lot. So we're going to do the third episode. I believe this will be the peak of the series because we are doing the most iconic car in the series, basically, the Castrol Tom's Toyota Supra. Now, you've probably seen this car a lot, it's been in all the Gran Turismo games, and here, let me tell you a little bit about this car. So, if I were to ask any of you what you consider to be the most recognisable car from the Gran Turismo series, I would assume that most of you would say the Castrol Supra, and I would agree with you. This has been the main focus of the Gran Turismo games, and even up until Gran Turismo 7, the latest one. So let's see why it's so popular. So I'll start off by saying that unlike the Escudo I reviewed last week, this isn't really a player voted favourite like the Escudo, it's more the developer and Kaz's favourite car as well as the people's. It was never as fast as the Escudo, obviously it doesn't have as much horsepower, but yes, in the early games it was seriously fast, but it was never groundbreaking fast. It was a race car. So one thing to remember is that Gran Turismo is developed by a Japanese company, and this is obviously evident in the games. They do really love Japanese cars. So let's go to Gran Turismo 3 quickly, for example. We can count the number of European and American race cars on two hands. From Europe there was the Pagani Zonda race car, you couldn't buy that, the Vauxhall Astra and Calibre race cars, and the Mercedes race car, which I also don't think you could buy. And there was Lister and Jaguar race cars, but I think they were quite difficult to get. I think there was some Lamborghini car, but that was in the files, or so I don't really know about that one. And for America, there's the Viper race car, the Corvette race car, as well as the Panels. So not very many. However, if we look at Japan, there is almost all the cars that were featured in the Japanese Touring Car Championship, the JTC. There's loads of super race cars, loads of NSX cars, and so the Castrol was the best of the best, and since it was the best out of all of the Japanese race cars, that automatically made it one of the best race cars in the game. So it did hold that title of being one of the best and most recognisable cars from the series. However, with the push from the Gran Turismo marketing team, this car became an icon. It's because it features on the covers of the games. It's obvious that they wanted this car to be the golden child, if you will, of the Gran Turismo series. For example, this car was available in the arcade mode, whereas most of the other race cars had to be unlocked from races. I think it's because they wanted everyone to be able to drive it and make it really accessible. Now, one thing that has remained constant is that this car has been in every single Gran Turismo game since GT1, all the way back in 1997. This is quite rare, even with some games significantly cutting the car list, this car still remained. This is why this car is featured as the change in Gran Turismo games on YouTube. You may have seen some of those videos. However, what I've just said isn't entirely correct. One thing I found while researching this video is that there's actually two versions of this car that have been present. That being the 1997 version and the 2000 version. The fact that I didn't know that there was a difference between these cars shows that they're almost like the same. However, there were some small differences once they're placed side by side on screen, like you can see. In the 1997 version present in Gran Turismo 6 and Gran Turismo 7, the cars are a lot more clean, as I would describe it. It has some exaggerated body mods, but it has less advertisements. The colours are also a lot darker. The 2000 version, on the other hand, has removed the bodywork and has got a lot more bright colours and more advertisements on it. Almost the whole car is covered in advertisements. I prefer the 1997 version. What do you think? The 1997 version does have slightly more power, so it's a little, but it is a little bit heavier. The power and weight difference isn't really that much. I'm sure if they were in the same game, there wouldn't be many, if any, power PP difference. Going back to GT7 then. This car is featured as one of the bonus items, I think, for when you bought the ultimate version of the game. I hope that was said or whatever. So Polyphony clearly think this is an important car. Off the top of my head, I think it was the Porsche Living Legend that you also got with it, and there was another car, but to be honest, I've forgotten. It was the only OG Japanese race car that was in the game to start with, so I think that says a lot. Later on, the Pennzoil R34 and the Silhouette R32 were added. These proved to be very popular, just like the Castrol, but the Castrol is still the go-to for old race cars in the Group 3 class. Now, it's just a very interesting car. I'll link some other videos for some reading. I know you like the Escudo video, and when I've done that at the end, if there's any other cars you want me to feature, then please do let me know, because it is actually quite fun making these videos. And I'll see you Wednesday or Sunday. We'll have another Gran Turismo Legends video coming out, and also another video hopefully on Wednesday. Hopefully that video does quite well. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.